Hello, everyone. I'm Kirk Kelly. I'm back here in the studio, and here we are in Tallahassee. Okay, now we are moving into legislative session this week. We are back up here, got committee weeks going on. We're getting all of our legislation put in place, all of the stuff that we're going to continue to keep you informed in. We may have probably, since I've been here, probably the most aggressive legislative agenda that we've ever had. We're taking on some pretty big issues, as well as some of the changes that may be coming to our funding formula, funding issues, working in the budgets, working with the department, working with the governor's office, working with the legislature in the House, and the governors in the House may not always be working, and the Senate may not all be working together. So all of that stuff. It's intrigue. It's Tallahassee. It's session. And it's what we do. I want us to thank a couple of folks. First of all, start with Natasha. She's doing a fantastic job in the legislation. She's over there in the halls working, building relationships, doing the right thing we need to do with our committee members. And I'm just really impressed with the good work she's doing. But probably really one of the best things she's doing is keeping you informed on all the things that are happening in Tallahassee, especially if you're on our legislative forum committee, which we just had a meeting for that, or if you're on our legislative executive leadership committee. And by the way, I thank our leadership. They have done a fantastic job this year of helping us get the data and information. When you get ready to run a bill, you just can't say, here, go run this bill. You've got to provide all the relevant information, backup documents, being able to educate the member to make sure that they're fully engaged in all of this so that they can go and advocate on our behalf. And so all of that's taking place this year. But I want to thank so many folks that have been so good. When I ask you to get information to us, you do. And we have really I think we're going to have a good session. It's a challenging session. I'm not going to tell you that it's easy to get anything passed, especially in this environment this year, but we're in and we're fully engaged. Now that reminds me to ask you to make sure you're fully engaged, not only keeping up to date on what we're doing, but actually coming and getting engaged. And so we have an event coming up called our Rally and Tally. It's on the 18th of February and the 19th. On the 18th, we're going to have a reception so we can all get together and talk and fellowship and have some good time together. And then we're going to go the next day and we're going to have a conversation. We have brought in some excellent speakers. One of them I'll mention is the president of the Senate has committed to come speaking to us. That is the president of the Florida Senate will come and address us. You need to be here. If you can't be here, someone from your organization needs to be here. I think we're well over 60 folks now that have signed up. So I guess the best we've done before is had about 100. I need 100 people here, especially if I got the president of the Senate coming. So I encourage you to be here. We'll have it at the Governor's Club. We've rented a nice room there. We're going to bring people in and hear from him. And better yet, he gets to hear from us. This is the presiding officer of one half of the whole process. And so it's really important that we have our representation there. So we're very excited about that. I want to thank Kim Daughtery and folks from Heartland and helping with all of that and getting the president of the Senate with us. Oh, by the way, Kim and Lisa Kroger, they do such a fantastic job as the leadership of our legislative committee, and I just thank them so much. All right, put all that aside. Here we are. We've got a lot we're going on. You're hearing about the legislative stuff. You're hearing about the Rally and Tally. You're hearing about the legislation we're working on, the funding issues and all of that. That's part of what the coalition does. If you know really what the coalition does is we have a whole series of things where we work with our committees. We have a lot of good work, our systems ops folks with all the different committees, all the roll up and information we get from that. That's what a coalition is all about. That's why we have hundreds of people engaged daily in the work that we're doing, and they get rolled up to our staff and we utilize that. And then the other part of this that you probably don't hear as much about, and you should, is the work that we're doing on our foundation side. Of course, you hear when we do our conference, and we've got our conference coming up in July. So all the work for that is taking place right now. In fact, if you want to make a presentation, if you want to present at the conference or have a breakout session, all of that's out there. You need to address that right away. You can go to our website, find out the deadlines on that, but you need to make sure that you're getting your proposals in now so that we can put all that together for the conference. But also they do a tremendous amount of work around our webinars. Our learning community is really robust. There's a lot of things going on. You don't probably hear as much about that unless you're directly engaged in it. And there are many of you that are, but you just need to understand that's a major component to what we do at the coalition. I'll tell you why it's important. That's where our thought leadership comes. Yes, we have thoughtful leaders giving us information on how we address the legislative process, our policy, our funding, working with DCF, working with the governor's office, working with the legislature. All that's important. We inform them constantly on things like that. But the other area is the work that we are talking about, the things that we should be doing, things that the industry should do, thought leadership for national thinking. And we're doing all of that. And Patricia Nellius and her team are just doing a fantastic job in that area. I can't thank them enough. They tell me some areas where they're going. I say, go. And it's amazing the work we're doing. We do a tremendous amount of work with Sunshine Health. Love Julie, love the folks that we work with there and all of the good work that we're doing. So there's a lot happening here at the Florida Coalition for Children. You're going to hear a lot about the legislative process. Obviously, that's front and center. We're very much important. We think if this is where your policy and your funding comes from, you need to get that right. And so we're going to be engaged in that. You'll hear a lot about that. But pay attention to all the other things that are, if you're involved in any of our committees, thank you. Continue to be engaged, stay engaged, bring your great ideas, help us get better for everyone across the system. And you need to make sure if there's areas that you're working with our learning community, some of the webinars and so forth, you need to make sure you engage yourself, avail yourself of that. It's a wonderful thing. With that, I hope you continue to have a blessed time. Thank you for all the great work you do. I do enjoy talking to people, and they always tell you, they say, Kurt, thank you for what you do. And I'm thinking, I'm not the one doing it. All my folks are the ones that are doing it. And so I turn the attention back to you and say, thank you guys for all you're doing. And with that, continue to heal your communities, heal children, families. Let's continue to heal through love and peace. God bless.